Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jacob Ferguson, and today we are going to be talking about All-Stars 9, Episode 4, the Makeover Challenge. This week the Queens had to make makeover firefighters into pop star girl group divas. The category on the runway was family resemblance or pop star resemblance. This challenge was weird. Hold on one second. You know that I really don't necessarily enjoy the makeover challenges that much. But this week's makeover challenge was kind of cool. Before we get into that, since this is probably going to be a shorter video, and, I like making my videos at least 30 minutes. Seashell, hey. Go. I like making my videos at least 30 minutes long. Okay, you don't want to be up here. And what are you doing? Get down. Then go play. No touching that. Go play. I like making my videos at least 30 minutes long, so therefore, we're just going to be covering some drama that happened over the week. So let's start. Also, I got a comment the other day on my last YouTube video saying that a person lived for the chaos. So I'm gonna be trying to bring more chaos into my YouTube channel. I don't have anything going right now, mostly because I got up a little bit late today. Usually, for All Stars, I wake up. Well, last time for All Stars, I woke up about 3 a.m. to record it. I woke up about 5:30 this morning to do this just because. So I just finished watching the episode. So let's get into it. First off, let's address let's just start with the episode, and then I'm going to address some of the controversy that happened over the weekend. So first and foremost, Georges is snipped. To begin with, this episode snipping and also the giving of the stars kind of confused me. Again, how fast Georges came back in, it was like they really had nothing to talk about other than Georges being snipped, which is fine. Georges is mad. She says that she's going after Gottmik. Understandable, really. And Roxy and Vanjie and Chanel are all mad because they have no stars. Nobody's playing the suck-up game this time around to get any benefactress badges. I know I just called them stars. They're benefactress badges. To get badges, but if I were the queens, I'd be like, please. I just spit everywhere, Jesus Christ. There we go. Give me your badge. Give me your tired, you're poor, give me your badge. So we enter the workroom, and I think it is naturally assumed that Chanel will get a badge from Nina, and Vanjie will get a badge from Gottmik. That's just how it is. Roxy, I think, is the only queen that would be fine without getting a badge, to help her along her way. But then Nina decides that she's not going to be a sister, because one of the main things that they discuss is the idea of cliques. Roxy and Plastique, Gottmik and Vanjie, Nina and Chanel and Nigeria and Georges are all in these little cliques together. So Nina decides to give her badge to Roxy Andrews, which, first, big mistake, huge. Roxy Andrews is a really big deal within the community, and also she's the only one that I think could bounce back from having 0 badges and win the whole thing. As for Gottmik, she gives hers to Vanjie like we planned, like we knew was going to happen. And then Ru goes, okay, well, you guys get into groups of 2. And they don't know what it's for because they never tell people what it's for. So they immediately start going with people who are not their friends. Angeria goes with Chanel, Nina goes with Gottmik, Vanessa goes with Roxy Andrews, and that means Georges and Plastique are together. And they realize that it is a makeover challenge. As for me, I would have immediately either gone for Plastique or Roxy off the bat, or Gottmik, considering the fact that I wouldn't have trusted Nina with anything, even if it was a comedy challenge. I would have thought that she might outshine me, and I could have outshined Roxy, Gottmik, or Plastique in those situations. Because with this face, you gotta be funny. And as for, you know, a makeover challenge, you have a partner that knows a lot about fashion, and I know very little about fashion. So if I were on the season, those are the three that I definitely would have gone for. Or Chanel. I would have also kind of gone for Chanel. We meet the firefighters. Don't ask me to remember their names. Their names kind of don't really matter to me. I think I remember some of them. I remember Bradley and Henri. But I forget the other two. But the other two are really, really great people. They are getting more and more people who are more receptive to drag. The problem with seasons 1 through 4, and even 6, were that a lot of people were not receptive to drag. I think season 5 was different because they were all gay, and the veteran Dave killed Judy Garland. You know, but season 6, I think, was the last makeover challenge where, like, we had somebody who was not receptive to drag in any way, shape, or form. That person being the basketball player, I think, that was paired up with Jocelyn, who was only on there as punishment, which drag should not be a punishment. So it was very nice seeing people go into their comfort zones and be fabulous. Everybody was really receptive. Everybody was getting their lives together. Roxy and Angeria were not Roxy and Angeria. Roxy and Vanjie were getting their doll together. So they all had very cohesive looks, divisive looks. So let's talk about it, because frankly, all of the stuff that they really did this episode before the main challenge was kind of just like a getting to know you sort of thing. And now I'm going to have the Julie Andrews song stuck in my head for all eternity. But what I will say is I really commend one of the firefighters. His daughter is pansexual and is married to a trans man. Great. That is the type of like sportsmanship we're looking for. I love it. I love the fact that somebody can come on the show and get to tell their family that they're doing something to honor them. So let's start, and that person was Roxy and Vanjie's firefighter. So let's start with the looks. So I took pictures like last time because I had to. I think I have two of. Yeah, let me delete this one. So one of these is not like the other because one of these is taken from far away. So I know the name of the person, Veronica Valentine. That's the name of the made-over contestant. So there is her and Roxy and Vanjie. It's baby pink, like a very sheer baby pink with nude cutouts. It is very beautiful. They have their names embroidered on them. I know that's a horrible picture, but I tried to get it when all three of them were in frame, and the editors this week decided that wasn't going to happen for Miss Roxy, Vanjie, and Valentine. So, they kind of jumped around with the editing a little bit. I'm like, give me a frame where all three of them are perfect together in frame, all of that, and they didn't. Not from what I can remember. The rest of them they did, but with Vanessa and Roxy's group, they did not. So they had the best sort of transformation. Also, the big Roxy eating little Roxy meme popped back up again today on my timeline on Twitter, and I just had to point out that this is the episode that it's from, and it is great. You can really tell that Roxy did the makeup because she made her to look exactly like Roxy Andrews. Roxy also provided the outfits, but Vanjie provided the choreography. So, props to your mama. I don't know why I said that. That's a little weird of me. Next. Oh, also in the performance, while Vanessa and Roxy were, Vanjie and Roxy rather, were kind of getting their lives. Vanessa Valentine, I have to say, was a little bit stiff. It was like the Tin Man, you know. She just needed to oil up her joints, get herself going. But overall, it's a cream performance. All of them are probably going to get creams for the performance. Outfit-wise, it's also a cream. They all looked cohesive. Up next is Meow Meow Mix, which is Georges, Plastique, and Angelique. Oh, good. I can, So this is what they kind of looked like. It was giving Powerpuff Girls. Though I do have to say, I wish that if they were fully doing Powerpuff Girls, Georges would have been an auburn hair. Michelle Visage said, there's no cohesiveness in the outfits. And I kind of agree with that in terms of like if this was a sort of family resemblance challenge, I could kind of see that. But since this was a pop group superhero thing and they were doing something that was, sorry, there was like a bug. They were doing something that was pop group themed, or at least a 3-person group thing. This is what really stole it to me. They had the best outfits. It was very Powerpuff Girls. Angelique looked great. Georges and Plastique looked great, but of course they always do. These queens were kind of my winners tonight in terms of the fact that all of them looked great. But let's talk about the choreography. Choreography was kind of mid. From what I can remember, it was just sort of there. Angelique did the best that she could with what she was given. Everybody looked great. It's a cream tonight for the performance and also for the outfits. So, also, in this, it is very hard to tell who did the makeup, but I'm willing to bet it was Plastique. Plastique also came up with the idea. Georges, I think, just did the choreography again. But it might be a Georges mug. I don't I don't quite know. Though looking at it, no, it's Plastique. There's highlight here on Plastique and on Angelique that is not on Georges. So, well, I mean, it kind of is, but it's not really as pronounced as this. And also the eye is the exact same with Plastique and Angelique. So, up next is the Pussycat Hoes, Angeria, Chanel, and I forget what I think it's Nathania or Natalia Bradley, which is awesome. She's giving Jasmine Kennedy. So this is what they looked like. And as you can see, there is no cohesiveness with any of what they're doing. Except for the shoes. Yeah, this was a chop. This was a crunch for me. In terms of outfits, as well as with dancing, Chanel and Nigeria are not the best choreographers. Chanel was doing her, which I'm sorry to make fun of because that's just how she is, and I love that about her. But she always does the exact same thing on the runway. She's like it's very much a Las Vegas show almost with her, which I just find very funny. The cohesiveness of the outfits was not it for me. Chanel and Nigeria looked more like sisters than poor Natalia did. I think her name's Natalia. Honestly, I don't remember. Than Bradley did, but that's beside the point. Um, what is the point is that Chanel did the makeup. It looks beautiful. Again, it is giving a lot more pageant queen than anybody else. But hey, it looks good. She looks beautiful. So it's a crunch. However, I still liked the performance. Though Natalia was a bit stiff. Um, in the performance. It was again like the Tin Man. She needed to be oiled up a little bit, but also she walked very weird in heels. I don't know if they had the time to really train her, um, but she did walk a little bit weird, and I was like, okay, come on. Finally, is Nina West, Gottmik, and Anita Blaze. This is what they looked like. What I will say is that all of them are cohesive. That being said, I don't have to like the outfits, and I don't like the outfits. Nina West's campy 60s aesthetic really does not work well with a song called Pussy on Fire. They were giving the Ronettes when they needed to be giving more, probably Little Mix. Gottmik could have easily transformed Anita Blaze into a beautiful, beautiful, sort of edgy version of herself if Nina were to go along with that. We know that Nina could actually do edgy if she wanted to, but no, let's make it more 60s and fun and campy. And again, this is the style that Nina is most well known for. But the problem is that this is also a Gottmik challenge. I saw zero Gottmik in these looks. Even if she's like, we did a little bit of black hair for the no, still giving Nina West. It's still giving Nina doing all of this. Um, Nina had a verse, call me Quasimodo, because I'm gonna ring this bell. Iconic, I suppose. The brothers Osborne really seemed to like it. They were the guest judges, and I looked them up because I was very confused as to who they were. Country, first and foremost, which I was like, oh, okay. And one of them is gay, which is awesome. And then I realized which one was the gay one, and he seemed to be less enthusiastic about this than his straight brother did. His straight brother was giving critique after critique after critique. He was really getting in there. Meanwhile, the other guy was like, yeah, it was good. And I'm like, okay. So the straight guy is an ally, and you're just here for the check. Got it. Or if you did give good critiques, they just cut them out, and I don't quite know why. Um, Also, Ross Matthews was on the panel again today. I mean, to tell you the full tea though, I did like the skit with the fake leg. That was kind of funny. But everything else with Ross Matthews was a little bit eh. So the looks tonight for Gottmik and Nina West are a crunch, and the performance is a cream. I enjoyed their performance. I enjoyed all the performances. All the performances get a cream. You can really tell that all four of them really went for it, and it shows. So, we get to the phase where it is time for the judges' critiques. The critiques happen, and they need to pick out the top two All-Stars of the week. Now, obviously, they're going to be the group. Hearing what they had to say, the high placements of the week were definitely Plastique and Georges. But Roxy and Vanjie apparently won. I probably would have given it to Plastique and Georges if I'm just being honest. But Vanjie and Roxy won. They have to lip sync, and they lip sync to Black Cat by Janet Jackson. When I tell you that this is the best lip sync on the show so far, I mean it. And I think it is because all of the rest of them have been Freemason edits or just the wrong song at the wrong time. This song was right up the alley of Vanessa and Roxy. Vanessa more, she was killing it. She was bopping along to the music. Roxy, I know that Roxy can do more than what she did tonight on that stage. She can. And that's the issue, is that she needed to have done more. Vanessa absolutely was bopping around the stage and boom, 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 bam, bam, bam. Let me do a death drop. Meanwhile, Roxy was kind of giving more restraint. It still was a good lip sync, don't get me wrong, and I agree with the outcome, but like, come on, Roxy, we know that you can do more, and it's not because you're old. You are old, but that's not the reason that it is so hard for you to do that. You were showing constraint. I don't quite know why, especially since you were the main benefactor in getting somebody else snipped tonight. So, I mean, you need to step it up. You need to at least match Vanjie's energy in the thing. That is one thing that I will say. Even with the horrid lip sync that happened last week, Nina West still matched Gottmik's energy and still performed to her fully best. Though her best was the worst. As with Georges and Angeria too, both of them performed very well together. And as for Plastique and Gottmik, again, it was the same sort of energy. So both of them win. Both Vanjie and Roxy win. And they have to snip somebody. Vanjie says that she really doesn't care who they snip. But Roxy's on a mission. She decides that she's going to cut Angeria. And they needed to be in agreement with it. And it seems like next week that Roxy's about to throw Vanjie under the bus by saying, it wasn't my full decision. Vanjie also did it. I predict that either Vanjie, Gottmik, or Plastique is going to get blocked next week. And I hope that Chanel wins her first badge. Next week, there seems to be a comedy challenge. Which I fully think that Nina West could do really well in. I don't know, though, so we shall see. So let's talk about some of the drama that's happened, and then I will circle back at the very end to ask who you guys are rooting for on All-Stars 9. But let's talk about some of the drama that's happened. There's two main things that I want to talk about. And I thought that they were going to make a separate video by themselves, but I just decided to loop them in here. Let's talk about the Gottmik controversy. Gottmik's runway last week was one of the best runways that we've ever seen on this show. It was a tail and two titties. It was the tale of her getting her top surgery to become fully a trans man, and an account that I know is Ray because I've been following them for a while. Let me. Their full account name is @masquerade with the AY where the MASCARAYDE. I just wanted to shout them out because this is where the problem comes in. Conservatives found their account. They found the account where we're talking about Gottmik's thing, runway, and a lot of conservatives were very upset with this. And that's a good thing because conservatives are upset about everything. It's actually a bad thing. It's not a good thing, especially considering the fact that this is our safe space, this is our safe show. Libs of TikTok got it, which is not good. and proceeded to put Gottmik on blast. Gottmik did not care a single iota, which brave for her to do. And I just want to mention that I am a full supporter of Gottmik. The issue for me comes when, I have a job outside of just doing Drag Race content. I don't want to get fired from my job, so I'm not really going to comment a whole lot on that outside of these videos. And if this video somehow reaches a conservative, go fuck yourself. But, I'm not about to sit here to sit online and talk about it. The most I will do is like something in support of it, but I want to keep my job, and the best way to keep your job is to keep your mouth shut sometimes. I'm not saying that that is something that I'm proud of, but that's something that I'm having to do right now. If I were to attack a conservative, they could easily probably find where I work, and get me fired for telling them to go kill themselves or something. I don't quite know, but so I am in full support of Gottmik in this situation, and I'm just hoping that we keep on pissing off the conservatives and they can't do anything about it. The most that they could do is tweet about it angrily, which, by the way, 34 counts. He got charged with all 34 counts. Just checking, because it seems like Trump is guilty, which is going to be a separate little side note. How many of you guys have watched Gotham? Gotham was a show that did like Batman and stuff like that. And of course, the icon Michael Chiklis, who was on American Horror Story and was the fantastic, the thing in Fantastic Four, was in Gotham. He played a commissioner that was also a bad guy, and his main sticking point was guilty. He was the judge, jury, and executioner. His name was Executioner. And so I just sent this to my brother and said, Donald Trump right now, guilty. I know nobody else is going to get that. And I probably shouldn't have brought it up, but he's guilty. Which is a great way to start out Pride Month, to find that a former president who rigged an election in his favor is found guilty. And if it does get found by conservative people, good. I don't go to hell. You guys lost, we won. Though I don't think that the war is over. Let's finally talk about the other elephant in the room, and by elephant I do mean Eureka. Eureka has come under fire recently because she argued with Kim Chi. A lot of people were on Eureka's side to start out with because of the context that Eureka gave on the Delta Work podcast. And Kim Chi kind of has said, no, that's not true, Ellen. Here's the real story. Now, I don't know if Kim Chi is telling the truth, because I don't know Kim Chi personally. None of us do. And if you do know Kim Chi personally and can personally vouch for her in the comments, that would be great. However, I'm not going to sit here and really bash Eureka, but I am going to mention what was said about her, that she's smelly, that she took a massive dump in a bed, and that she refuses to bathe or wash her clothes. Now, I have no idea if any of this is true, other than a couple of context clues, such as during All-Star 6, they did a whole, big thing where they did superlatives for each other, and Eureka got voted, the nastiest, smelliest, most likely to fart, all of that sort of stuff. So picking up on that, I wouldn't put it past her if she was this type of person. Also, Eureka has sort of made a bad name for herself by being just racist and just not a very nice person. The downfall of Eureka was going to probably happen eventually. This is just sort of the candle that sparked it, or the horse that kicked the lantern. So they say, and again, I can't personally vouch for Kimchi's if Kimchi's telling the truth. All we know is that all I know from her is her online presence, as well as what she did on season 8, and she seemed like an honest person then. But who knows? She may be telling fictitious rumors, especially about, maybe her going to the bathroom in a bed. I don't quite know. But people have ran with this joke, and Eureka has yet to respond. And Eureka has been on 3 seasons, probably about to be 4, if the Canada versus the World tea is true. And this is not a good time for her to have this thrust upon her. Especially if she's going back, people are not going to be rooting for her because, let's tell fact, not fiction here. If you're being a bad person and people aren't rooting for you anymore, that means that you're probably not going to win this season. Even if you do make top 4, you're not going to win the season because people aren't rooting for you. So take everything online with a grain of salt unless you can personally vouch for either one of these two. Though Melissa Skunt from Queen of the Universe did kind of validate the fact that Eureka is smelly and like her bags are not the best. Unless you can visibly personally vouch for both of these two, I don't really, maybe don't weigh in on it. Unless you've met them in real life, worked with them, etc. And if you have, leave your experience in the comments down below. It'd be nice to see. So who are you guys reading for All Stars 9? Honestly, right now, the only person that is really, really piquing my interest and makes me happy to watch the season is Chanel. I know that's a little bit awkward, but like Chanel kind of is like a breath of fresh air almost. Like she's so cringy in a way that is like so iconic. Also, Plastique Tiara. I'm sort of rooting for Vanjie now. I know I had a troubled past with Vanjie, especially last week, considering the fact that her snatch game was the worst. Well, second worst. Plastique's was very bad, but Vanjie's snatch game was kind of bad because she didn't do her research. But Vanjie's kind of growing on me, as is Angeria. I love Angeria. The only person that I'm not really that impressed by yet is probably Nina, just because her outfits are not on the same level as everybody else's. But that's the tea. What do you guys think? Who are you guys rooting for? Leave your comments down below. I've been Jacob Ferguson. Remember, do not send hate to any queen mentioned in this video, please. Alright, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.